Good morning, everybody. Oh, okay, Darlene, good. Want to make sure you got there.
Yeah, sorry, I kept trying to get in, but the other meeting was still going and it kept telling me meeting was still in progress, so.
Right, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and just stay in the background and admit people, and you just do your thing.
Awesome, thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. I am trying to see, okay, share screen. So this is my first year doing awards. I appreciate you all joining for this journey we're about to go on. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen here. Let's see, my kids are more tech savvy than I am, so bear with me. Nope. I just need to figure out how to get to my slideshow. Thank you guys so much. I hope I didn't accidentally close it. All right. Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds here.
Hi, Regina. I didn't get a chance to say hi to you earlier.
Good morning.
All right.
Darlene, are you able to share? I thought you were. If not,
Yeah,
I can.
I am. For some reason, I think when I closed out of Zoom to try to reload it, I accidentally closed my presentation. So now I'm just trying to log back into it.
Sure, take your time. You still got more people coming in. Anybody ever remember the show Romper Room? Anyone? Remember they used to have
With a mirror.
Yeah,
I
see
see your
PJ.
Lisa.
I see Jan.
They never said Janelle.
No?
They never said my name either.
I know your name.
Listen, Janelle, I've been known to be Frank Rosen before, so.
Yes. Many times.
All right, Darlene, you got it on there. Awesome job.
Hey. All right, awesome. Okay, so does it look like everybody's here? Do we need a couple more minutes or should we go ahead and get started?
That's up to you. I'm just going to keep letting people in.
All right, we'll just start rocking and rolling here. And I'm so happy Janelle is also joining us. She's got so much knowledge with awards as well. So here we go. We'll go ahead and just jump in. All right, so if you are here today, I'm assuming that it's because you've done a lot of programs, you know people that have done something super special and you want a way of recognizing them. So this is going to give you the opportunity to do so. So when you're going to go into applying for awards, there's going to be 2 separate entries. There's going to be an entry form for individuals, and there's going to be an entry form for programs. Please make sure that you fill out both. You're going to have your synopsis that's going to be limited to 250 characters. So that's where you're going to keep it very short and sweet and to the point. Then you're going to have a narrative that's going to be 3,000 characters. I'm going to point out because I made this mistake last year. It's not 3,000 words, it's 3,000 characters. Right here, this is going to be the link where you could find both the attachments and where to submit your pictures. It's also going to be posted on our Facebook pages and also on the county website. For me, it's easier to use the links that are on Facebook because it just click it and you go straight there. Okay, please let me know if I need to slow down at any time. All right, so to be eligible, you need to be in compliance with County Council and Florida PTA. If you are not sure If you are within compliance, you could reach out to Janelle. This is her email right here, and she'll be able to verify the information for you. Okay, your state and council dues must be paid. Your bylaws must be current. Your taxes must be filed. Individual nominees must be a current member of your local unit. Okay, so not from last year, not from the year before, but from this year. When you go into the submission forms, you're going to see that they're labeled with the purpose, criteria, and narrative. It's going to break it down for you. So your purpose is going to be the details. It's going to be provided again in there. It explains what the award is about and what is needed for your narrative. Make sure that your program and individual fits the award. Your criteria. Oh. Am I still in? Can you guys hear me? Okay, for some reason it's telling me that I was signed out because I'm on another device. No, we're still good? Okay, thank you. All right, so your criteria, the submission must meet all the criteria listed or you're going to be disqualified. And your narrative, this is going to be the selection where you let your nominee shine. This is going to be where you put in all your feelings. This is where you're going to make us cry, okay? We want to hear all the mushy stuff. Okay. So now we have what is needed for each submission. Again, it's going to be the 3-sentence synopsis, your narrative, and the attachment. Now, we've already gone over this a little bit. For your narrative, what I found easiest for me last year, I used, the Google Drive. You could use any program that you'd like that already has like the spell check in it. It counts the words for you because you don't want to go over, those 3,000 characters. And while you're doing your narrative, you need to make sure that you do not list any names, schools, mascots, anything that's going to let us know that it's your school. Because if we have any hints that it's for your school, you're going to be disqualified. Okay, and the attachment form, you're going to find the link for that here, and it will also be on the award submission form. This is where you're going to put screenshots for your newsletters. You could put in screenshots from your Facebook page, your Twitter. Show us how you're utilizing all the tools that you're using for communications. There we go. Okay. So to apply, again, you could go to our website. You'll go to the awards page and you can complete the entry form. Remember, both for individual and program. We have the links on Facebook and also on Member Hub. Applications are currently open, so you don't have to wait for that. Go right after this, straight to them, and put in your award submissions. Okay, so information that you need to gather before you apply. So take note of all this stuff. You're going to need it handy for when you start filling out your applications. You need the official name of your PTA, PTSA, so no nicknames. You need the name that you filed under, the date that the county dues were paid, the date state dues were paid, date bylaws were last approved, date last year's taxes were filed, the number of students at your school, the number of the PTSA students for high school and middle school, the number of volunteers and volunteer hours, membership numbers for 2019 and 2020. Now, we know that the volunteers and volunteer hours are going to be a little bit different than the previous years. That's totally okay. For the notes over here, your treasurer should have all of the dates that you're going to need. And as far as the number of the PTSA students that we're asking for, those are going to be the PTSA students that you have on your board, such as students that hold the role of your membership chair or VP of communications. Any questions so far? I think we're good. All right, so we have 3 different divisions. We have the elementary division, we have the middle school division, and the high school division. And if you go to a school that has K through 8 grades, then that's going to fall in the middle school category. And from previous years, middle school doesn't really have too many submissions. So you're honestly going to be getting a little bit of an advantage if you're in that K through 8 schools by going into that middle school division there. Give me just 1 second here. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the categories for the awards. These are your individual awards. So we have Instructional Person of the Year, Non-Instructional Person of the Year, Outstanding High School Senior or Student-Led Program, Volunteer of the Year, Principal of the Year, President of the Year, Student of the Year, Superman, and Startup PTA. So to make a note on that, all submissions should be PTA related, right? Our individuals that we're trying to highlight should be PTA members. You know, they should be supporting PTA if we're going to be submitting for awards for them to be recognized. And the startup PTAs, those are going to be newly charted PTAs. So those are going to be within the last year or two. We're going to go a little bit further into detail with that in just a second. Okay, so program awards, we have advocacy and legislation, arts and education, communications, education, family involvement, health and safety, at your service, 3-star, and new this year is a virtual program. Now, I was previously asked if that means that the other programs, since the virtual program is new this year, if all the other programs have to be in person. Now, obviously, due to COVID restrictions, we understand that regardless, a lot of these programs are still going to be virtual, but we really want to put the virtual program needs to be the one that is highlighting something that really sticks out to you, right? So if these other ones were virtual, that's okay, but the one that stuck out the most and made the most impact, that's what you need to highlight in that virtual program. Okay, then we have the certificate awards. We have the golden participation. So that's going to be participating in 3 or more county or state events. We have a list of the programs that's going to be found on submission form 1. So you'll be able to go through all of them. There's a lot. So you have plenty of opportunity there. Student involvement, that's going to be 1 or more students on your PTSA board, and increase of membership. And the numbers will be verified with Florida PTA. So this is going to be just a short outline of the individual awards. I really want you guys just to take a moment to look at this, because once we get through this, we're going to do a brainstorming activity. So we're going to focus on at least one award for something or someone or a program that you've already got in mind. All right, so the instructional person of the year and the non-instructional person of the year, of course, is going to recognize an outstanding person that really stuck out to you. Outstanding senior or student-led program. We have the volunteer of the year. A lot of these I feel are already self-explanatory. Just to point out, like Superman, we have an award to recognize extraordinary male involvement. We have the Startup PTA. So that's to recognize the local units that have been chartered or rechartered for 3 years or less for their goals and achievements. So let's go ahead and jump to programs, unless anybody has any questions about the individual awards, or if you need more time to look this over, please let me know. And all of these, it's going to go into greater detail once you go to the submission forms. It goes into much more detail. Okay. All right, so a quick outline of the programs for the advocacy and legislation. This is going to be to recognize a PTA sponsored event or program that demonstrates or aims to influence positive outreach and change through our new rules or laws. The arts of education, this is going to be a PTA sponsored. Sorry, I think I have a chat here. Give me 2 seconds. Let's check this out. The photo.
believe Frank is working the chat, so.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And I have no idea why this bounced back as far as food. Or did we go forward? Let's see. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the arts and education to recognize a PTA, PTSA sponsored for outstanding arts program that was creative and including family involvement. And reflections cannot be used for this. All right, so keep in mind it's got to be something else other than reflections. Communications, this is going to be to recognize local units that use superior skills in sharing meaningful information on their website, newsletter, and social media platforms. Education is to recognize a PTA, PTSA sponsored event or program that directly focuses on improving student academic achievement. Family involvement is going to be to recognize PTA, PTSA sponsored event or program that focuses on bringing together education and involving families in school. Health and safety, so again, that's going to focus on a program for health and safety. At your service and 3-star, that's going to recognize a PTA, PTSA that directly focuses on the mission of PTA while providing an excellent opportunity to teach children and families the value of generosity and helping others through a service project. And in the virtual program, that is going to highlight a PTA that, use that in a creative manner. So we're going to look for a new virtual program that really sticks out. So again, the other ones, if they were held virtually, that's okay. But the one that sticks out to you the most, that had the biggest impact, that's what you're going to want to put under the virtual program. Okay, so for the purposes of PTA, I believe everybody probably already knows what the purpose of PTA is. This could be found under your bylaws. Just a quick outline of it. It's to promote the welfare of children, for advocacy. We're going to be advocating for the laws to further education. It's going to be about building a community, how we're bringing our families, our teachers, community, everybody together. Now, for our awards, the purpose of PTA is not about fundraising. It's not about who raised the most money. It's not about who served the best food at the teacher luncheon. We really have to focus on the purpose of PTA for our awards. Okay, so remember to stick to the core values when you are writing up your submissions. All right, so for the rubric, each nomination will be scored in 5 different categories. Each category is worth up to 5 points. There are 3 judges per division. They cannot judge any division they are connected to. So for example, I have a child that's in elementary school and in middle school, so I would not be able to judge in those categories. Now, being the chair, I can't judge anyway because I'm going to know what schools are submitting what. So basically, each school is going to be assigned we'll just say a letter. So we're going to have schools A, B, and C. And now I'm going to send the schools A, B, and C over to the judges, and they only see you as A, B, and C. Okay, and then they're going to have their categories that they're going to be judging off of, and you'll get 5 points. Now, each category is catered to each individual award for, the individuals and programs. So before you submit, there's a couple things that we want you, to ask yourself. Does my submission highlight how we reached our goals and made a positive impact on our school and community? Does it provide details on how we promoted family and student involvement? How does it focus on the welfare of children and families? Did it capture your why? Does it detail how you went over and beyond? Does it have a wow factor? And remember, it needs to stick with the purpose of PTA. Okay. I keep trying to move my little box over here so I can read. Here we go. All right, so important information to remember. Again, entries are going to be blindly judged. Do not mention your nominee. your school, your mascot, or your PTA, PTSA anywhere in your writing. Okay, that's going to result in you being immediately disqualified. Keep it a secret. We don't want to know. All right, so focus your writing on the purpose of PTA. Again, we can't say that enough. You must include a 3-sentence synopsis of your application. And if there's any names that you feel like we won't be able to pronounce, please break those down for us. This is going to be used at the award ceremony. And entries must be submitted no later than March 12th at midnight. So March 12th at 11:58, please don't email us that you're having problems submitting your awards. Try to do it as quickly as you can. Don't wait for the last minute because you're going to want to have your awards in order. You're going to want to submit them in a clean form. You know, I'm only saying this because last year I waited last second and it was a heart-stopping experience, freaking out at midnight if when I hit submit, if it's actually going to go through or not. I don't want you to be where I was last year. Okay, so we've already talked about this a little bit with the narrative. You could use another program, you know, just to check for spelling errors, for grammar, to make sure that you're not going over the 3,000 characters that are allowed. This just basically just goes over that again. Here we go. And also, once you're done submitting your awards for us, now remember, you're going to submit for us first. We're top priority. After that, don't forget to go over to floridapta.org. You could apply for awards there as well. Their deadline is May 1st. And last year, Hillsborough County won 5 awards. So this year, let's make it 6, 7, 8. I'm saying let's go for 10, okay? We could do it. And for the event, for the awards gala, we are going to be hosting the event at the JCC Center. And this is going to be held April 15th, 2021. Starts at 9:30. It's going to go through until 12 noon. It is a socially distant event. Of course, we're going to be wearing masks. Limited seating is available. We're going to have 45 to 50 seats with 5 to 6 people per table. Tickets are currently available. This is the link that you could go to. You could also find it on Facebook and our website. And also Member Hub, because of course our tickets are being sold through Member Hub. So it's $35 per ticket or $210 for a table of 6, and this includes breakfast. And before we move on, are there any questions? All right, if there's no questions, does everybody have a piece of paper and a pencil?
One second. Everyone that wants to come can come. The winners you won't know the winners ahead of time. You find out when you're at the awards. Melissa Butler had asked if everyone should attend.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm
no worries.
Not seeing the chat. Thank you.
Nope, that's fine.
Now I feel like we're just cruising right along here. So let's go ahead and start jotting down our thoughts on a piece of paper. So to brainstorm, these 5 points are going to help you with your submission. After answering these questions, I urge you to go over to the award submission form, so then that way you could read each category in more detail. And again, make sure that all of your submissions are matching the purpose of PTA. So first, think about which award you want to apply for. So go ahead and jot that down. Is it an individual award? Is it a program? What is the first one that pops in your mind that stands out the most, that had the most impact? What award is going to make us cry? What award is going to make us, have all those feel good, PTA feelings?
Just a point to that one. If you read through the purpose of the PTA is not to make money. So when we've seen awards in the past where the first line says such and such program raised 15,000 for our school. That should not be your focal point in any of your submissions.
Right. That goes along with, your teacher luncheons, if they had a gourmet meal versus, fast food that was donated, that's really not the purpose of PTA. So we do need to stick to the core values. So after figuring out which award you want to apply for, the next question, which program or individual do you want to highlight? So that's going to go more into it. You've got which award, now you have which individual, which program, and now you need to list ways this program or person promoted family student involvement. So take a moment, jot down your thoughts for that. How did they help promote PTA's mission? So after jotting down that, the next question to ask is, why is this program important? Why does this individual do the things they do? Now this is where you can put in, their why. So we all have our why. Why do we do the things that we do? What impact are we trying to have? What are we trying to accomplish? All right. And after that, next question to ask is, how does this program or person stand out? What is the wow factor? So we know that a lot of us, for example, have grandparents breakfast. I know it didn't really happen this year because of COVID, just throwing an idea out there. There's a lot of programs that we all seem to do. Let's think about a program or individual that maybe did something different, had a different approach. They really made a high impact. What was the wow factor? This is where you're going to want to put all the feeling into it. If, there was a child that needed help and you saw the president, really go over and beyond to help this child or their family, and you could work all this feeling into your story. Trust me, we want to be able to feel like we were there. We want to be able to feel how they made a difference. So make sure to please make a wow factor. Make it to where we remember your story. And again, most importantly, just we keep going back to that. How did the program or person promote the mission of PTA? We cannot say that enough. All right, guys, so I'm going to let you go ahead and finish jotting down some ideas. I could go back to the purpose of PTA slide in just a moment, so you could look over those again. If you have any questions, you could feel free to reach out to myself, Darlene Martin, at awards@hccpta.org. Amy is also available to help. Her email is VP of Operations, or sorry, not of anymore, VP Operations at HCCPTA.org. And I know Janelle is more than happy to help as well. And I'm just going to go back to the purpose of PTA so you guys can really just make sure that you're following along with it here. Here we go.
I think the big thing too is you don't realize how little 300 characters or 3,000 characters are until you have to do that. So if you're trying to cut down, every space and punctuation counts as a character. So if you are indenting your paragraphs or doing more returns, get rid of all of that stuff. And there's always a bunch of extra pronouns you may not need in there. So try and cut those things out and keep it to the core value of what you're trying to get to the point. Because if some of these judges are doing 15 in one category, you really want to get to the point and not a lot of fluff.
And now my video is on. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. So guys, the floor is open for any questions. Does anybody need any clarity? You guys are making this too easy. All right, well, if there's no questions, I suppose that we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Janelle, Frank, did you guys need to add anything?
I was just putting in the chat that PJ Rosen is on here and yourself. Everything you guys write, you always end up winning awards. So PJ, I don't know if you want to add. I don't know if you want to add like what you concentrate on as the writer of some of these awards to make sure it is a standout.
Well, definitely follow the rules, but you really kind of, I know that you said that you don't want to focus on, you know, that it was, you know, a nice meal that was given as opposed to whatever. But if you are, if the fact that you're donating a meal in and of itself, you have to kind of pad that a little bit with the details as well. So you do kind of want to give a picture of what the event was like, what the program was like, kind of put the reader in the position of being at whatever program it was, so they can kind of get a feel. You want to put some meat into it, and that includes a little bit of filler. So definitely put the purposes as they are written in your narratives. So the purposes of PTA: to promote the welfare of children in the youth and home, school, places of worship. If that fits your narrative, copy and paste it and put it actually in your narrative as it's written, and almost highlight it, because that's an important part of writing the description or the narrative of what you're doing. We have been disqualified before for someone putting the name or alluding too much to who the person was, or you really want to make it as vague as possible who the actual person is. You don't want anybody to like know who you're talking about. So, and sometimes with volunteers, especially volunteers who are at the county level, that's really difficult to do, because, you know, when you're submitting a narrative to county about someone who's on county, it's going to be hard. So hopefully, you know, if the people who are judging, they'll recuse themselves from that particular one. But it's just be aware of that when you're writing.
Thank you so much for adding all that. It's great information.
Let me go jump in then real quick, if nobody else can say anything, and tell you, Darlene, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate your work on the board. I know you're at, I think, 3 local units as well.
At Lowry and Parnell, yep.
Yeah. So thank you so much for doing this. I know it's a labor of love, but it's also an exciting event, and it's a chance for us to celebrate all the great work that each and every one of you are doing each and every day at your schools. And for being a very tough year, this is something that'll hopefully culminate with us showing the value, the importance of what our association is doing. And we put that squarely on you, because you are putting a lot of time and effort into doing this. So thank you very, very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, guys. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Now, I do want to end it on a joke because it's always good to end things on a laugh. So using my husband's handy dandy dad joke book, what do your dog and your phone have in common? You both have caller ID.
Ah.
That's awesome.
Great job, Darlene.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing all of your awards start coming in. I know they're going to start coming in today, right? As soon as you can. But thank you guys so much for joining. Go get a drink, take a break, and we'll see you back here at 12 o'clock, right, Frank?
Yes, the link is in the chat if you need it. But yes, 12 o'clock.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.